Hello and welcome to today's historic best of 3 deck tech and gameplay video on what is basically a red-white artifact reanimator deck. This is, if you've happened to be watching videos of mine for a little while, is another little update to a previous deck that I had made when originally Trash for Treasure, I believe, was released. Hi sweetheart, not right now. And we then, like now, use Trash for Treasure and cards like Refurbish to just reanimate relatively large and scary artifacts. The Cataclysmic Gearhulk, which is like a conditional board wipe sometimes, but you can also keep some of your stuff. Combustible Gearhulk can either just be burn damage or card draw, which is nice in this deck. A singleton God-Pharaoh statue, since it can weirdly mess with like your blue-red, phoenixy, delver-y kind of decks. Also just giving you a clock that is a little more difficult to interact with. And we also run a couple of Meteor Golems to round out our Artifact Reanimator package as basically removal spells. Since we are a Reanimator deck, we want to make sure all of our targets for reanimation can basically impact the board this turn they come down. Where God-Pharaoh's gift, or statue, sorry, is easily the weakest, impacts the board when it enters play artifact, but it does do something, so we're okay with that. Now, our deck does, besides also having the Artifact Reanimator payoffs, does have relatively good ways to sort of tutor up, although more like put them in the graveyard, so it's not tutors, the particular artifacts in question, with cards like Faithless Looting, lets us draw cards and say put things we might want to reanimate into the graveyard. Lightning Axe can be creature removal as well as graveyard fuel. Goblin Engineer, which was released with the Historic Horizons, basically, is another pretty efficient way to just put whatever you want to reanimate into the graveyard for later. And sometimes you can get some silly value with his activated ability of reanimating cheap artifacts. Cards like Thrilling Discovery, again, also is in the fueling the graveyard category. Though sometimes, hey, we can just gain life from it if we need to, though that's more of a corner case. Ichor Wellspring is both card draw and fuel for things like Trash for Treasure. We also run some Court Homunculus and some Esper Sentinels as both early interaction for things on the board, as well as Esper Sentinel being able to draw cards. They also act as one-drop artifacts for things like the Trash for Treasure, so if things are going well and you're, firing on all cylinders and getting lucky, you can actually sacrifice one of these one-drops to the Trash for Treasure, or cards like Ichor Wellspring, to actually summon one of your hopefully in your graveyard now in your graveyard artifacts. We also run 2 treasure vaults. Besides being lands, are also artifacts for much the same reason as the Trash for Treasure, and that is the super base of the deck. Lands are pretty simple. It's one of those running red and white lands that are pretty quick and come into play untapped. A couple spires, also for some color fixing. Sideboard, pretty simple, a whole lot of just nice answer cards. Since game 2 and onward, your reanimation package, odds are they're going to bring in some graveyard hate, so you're going to want to walk away from that a little bit. At which point you can sort of transition into some weird red-white, mid-rangey, value-y kind of boring pile where you can run things like Helix and Apparitions for removal, Soul Guide Lanterns for opposing graveyard hate. Chandra is good against other control decks that are very counter-heavy. Wraths and Clarions are good against opposing boards, and Archon of Emeria are good against other, again, like Delvery, Phoenixy decks. And that is the basics of our little red-white Artifact Reanimator update. Slight little note before we go. I love this deck because it's fun, and it is largely a brainchild of mine and mine alone. Hi, sweetheart. But, man, it's not quite as good as I want it to be. Yeah, come hang out with Dad. We are more so lacking really a wide range of, like, useful high-impact artifacts, really. that can do things the turn they're played. But maybe in the future we can come back to this deck once we have more varied and useful artifacts to reanimate. And with all of that little preamble out of the way, again, remember to like and sub if you're just here for the deck tech. And now we'll go on to the actual games themselves. Game number 1 with our little red-white Reanimator artifact deck. Again, we play first because we have a brain. Oh boy. If we had one more land, we would be kind of good, but we can't keep one-landers. So we can't keep one-landers. That's really annoying. Come on, just let me mulligan. Yeah, I know. They have to also see if they're going to mulligan, which is very annoying. Gotta be honest. There we go. Okay, that's better. We can do something with that. We don't need the Gearhulks in hand, since we can just put them in the graveyard with their engineer, so we have that. We'll go ahead, cave on 1 with an Esper Sentinel. Engineer on 2, and we'll put something into the graveyard. Draw a land on 3, we're basically cooking. Alright. Now, they could have some sort of removal spell, which would suck, but we'll be fine. We don't know what they are, so in moments like this, when you're still in the, like, figuring things out phase, the Gearhulk is a nice, safe little, assumption here. Since it can just be card draw if you need it, or a burn spell for a load of damage, sometimes. Red and blue. I wish now that I would have done, that's annoying. I would have done a, or I put a God-Pharaoh statue into the graveyard had I known. But now that we do know, that's the more important bit. Oh wow, it resolved. What the hell are you holding? I mean, alright, I guess. Yeah, a little burn spell for 7. What do we put in the bin? A Gearhulk and a Goblin Engineer. Okay! The deck kind of did what we wanted it to. Normally I would, what's the word? I would take out a lot of the reanimation package, but we have one game up, so we can burn a game by continuing to go in on this particular style. So I'm okay with burning one game to go to game 3. Also, red and blue don't have the best access to mass graveyard hate, besides things like Soul Guide Lantern. So I think we can afford to run it. I don't think we're going to get punished too much. And even if we do, we can always, in game 3, move to our, like, package, air quotes, of taking out all of the Reanimator stuff, like the Transfer Treasures and the Refurbishes, and bring in, like, appropriate sideboard cards to their likely blue-red Phoenix pile. Game number 2 with our little red-white artifact Reanimator list. While I have a moment, I'm going to address the last game, because I'm going to have to edit that out, or parts of that out. The first game, as though you will have noticed, is more or less a very, very quick one. Simply because, or the reason why I'm keeping that particular short, only one game in, is because it does adequately show what the deck is trying to do in that solitary theory craft kind of way of how the deck wants to play. Hopefully this game will be a, you know, legitimate one, but that's why that cut is so sharp and that game is so, like, short. Now, with our hand, 2 lands, some looting, a discovery, and a Gearhulk, yeah, we can do that. Why not? Guildgate from our opponent. We'll go ahead and just a Sacred Foundry on 1. Loot away some stuff. Go ahead and put our reanimation targets in the graveyard. See what our opponent does. Maybe they're playing Gates. They are playing Gates. It's been a hot minute since I've seen that. I guess we can do do a thrilling discovery since we're not going to really have the opportunity to mess with much right now. I'm a fucking idiot, aren't I? I didn't play the cave when I should have. Thank God I didn't get punished, but people at home, play these lands early so you can get your stuff going correctly. We're going to go ahead and Lightning Axe their Gatebreaker Ram now. Probably going to check the Meteor Golem. We'll go ahead and play some Court Homunculus as just bodies to hopefully defend against. Weirdly, gates as a concept has always like kind of been around. It's not popular or as popular as it once was, but it is around. We'll go ahead and play this probably on red. What do we really want to? It's gonna sound weird, but I'm actually. Yeah, we'll go ahead and refurbish now. Why not? Go ahead and refurbish a Gearhulk in. See what we get. He only has 2 gates, so a Gates Ablaze won't kill us. Let's see. Their Colossus that gets cheaper with gates, whose name escapes me, still far away. Okay, that would like to have that one, but it's not the end of the world, I suppose. They take a turn off to ramp a couple more gates, but that's fine. Might be able to really punish them for this. Although, admittedly, like it is a gate deck, you do want to get gates, so I can't really blame you. The real question is, are they playing Maze's End as a win con in their gate deck, which I believe every gate deck should do if you have a spare mythic lying around. It is a thematic win, might I also add. Grab a couple of Izzet Guild gates. We can just go ahead and hit them and just try and play this more traditionally. We do have the luxury in our Reanimator deck of being able to just traditionally play the cards we want to reanimate. We don't have to worry. You're gonna double Gates of Blaze. We don't have to worry about the inability to cast them, but they just kind of sit in our hands. Get the fuck out of here! I forgot about Lava Coil. Again, we'll just play another Gearhulk. We're doing fine. Let's see how many gates they have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So they have 5 gate counts. Gates of Blaze doesn't kill me. God-Pharaoh's. Alright, that wasn't a bad little burn spell. They can play their... Now they have 6 now. Nice. I was going to say they can still play that little white life gain one, whose name escapes me. That's really useful. We'll go ahead looting here, see if we can find something better. Of course we can't, because that would be too simple. We're going to come, like, just short. That really sucks. We have reliably a 2-turn, maybe 3-turn clock, which is fucking frustrating. Get the fuck out of here. Okay, we can do something with that. We will go ahead and now refurbish a Meteor Golem, since we want to, you know, kill the thing that's killing us. Meteor Golem is a nice little, basically, removal spell. It is very nice. How many gates do they tap to do this? Do they fully tap out? Are they going to do some? Alright, still have 4 mana open. They could play a lot of cards, honestly, to really gum up the works here. Another Lava Coil. Which is totally fine, and actually I think used to be in there. Gate Colossus, that's the name. We'll go ahead and Faithless Looting this trash for treasure away. It's not really being that useful. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. I was so close. We died to a lot this turn, but I think we have one other. We have a Meteor Golem, and They have their Archway Angel. God damn. There's literally nothing we hit that lets us live here, right? That sucks. Well, hold on. Do we actually live? Hang on, let me... Power 2 or less, so we can... Okay, we're not technically dead, we're just practically dead. We can refurbish, kill their Archway Angel. Block with the Gate Colossus next turn. Or, block the Gateway Colossus next turn. I guess we can... we'll just decline, we're just looking to get things on the board. Kind of shows my point of, like, I want this deck to be good because it is, as far as I can tell, solely my brainchild online. Man, it feels like what we're lacking is, like, really good things to reanimate for artifacts. With things like Goblin Engineer and, let's see, things like, where is it? Like Lightning Axes, Thrilling Discoveries, and Faithless Looting. We have the ability to actually put things in the yard with, you know, high reliability, but we don't have the greatest access of things to reanimate to begin with. So there is that. That's kind of my big, like, issue, I guess. There's no way in a million years that this is really going to work as a Reanimator deck, so we're just going to cut the reanimation spells altogether. Gives us 8 cards, so we can Chandra. Gatebreaker Ram can actually get hit. That's actually a pretty good hit. Bring some Apparitions. Probably a couple Wrath of Gods. Maybe a Lightning Helix, though it's not going to be the most impactful. We cut like a couple Ichor Wellsprings. Actually, no, the Discoveries are actively bad here. Helix is there. Wellsprings are back in. And this is basically how you sideboard out of being a Reanimator deck, since they were already main decking Lava Coils. Admittedly, that doesn't super mess us up, but it does show that they have Exile Hate, or Exile Tech, so it's not really going to be that useful to us. We'll go ahead and keep this. I would love to draw another white source so I can have the access to the pathway for red, but if we need to double white for an apparition to not die, I'll take that. Go ahead and court Homunculus on one. See what our our opponent's deck historically doesn't really do that much in the opening turns. I think we're gonna actually play this pathway on red. Yeah, we'll just Ichor Wellspring, why not? Get a little bit deeper into the deck. Hopefully find what we need, but even if we don't, it's not the end of the world. We can't always faithlessly loot each turn. Yeah. Faithlessly loot, get some stuff in here. Sentinel's not really that useful here, nor is God-Pharaoh statue. We do now have access to the white mana we need to get rid of the Gatebreaker Rams. Sideboarding tech-wise, historically, this deck has always loved to bring in Hydroid Crisis, but I don't know if we're scary enough to warrant that in our opponent's mind. So we might not be, to be entirely fair. This is one of those, we're not really going to be able to outrace him, since it's very easy to have a gateway or an Archway Angel just totally crap on our quasi-aggressive plan here. So we're just looking to try and match their value. We might actually get rid of the Guild Summit, unironically. Maybe deny them some card draw, since outside of cards like a Hydroid Crisis that they sometimes bring in, and the Guild Summit, they don't have the best access to, like, card draw. Yeah, we'll go ahead and do that. Gives us something to do here. We're sitting on some interaction. The question is what? Growth Spiral is a thing. Fair enough. Just try and again deny them card draw and resources. Maybe just like slowly outvalue them. Maybe. God, I also love and use the Japanese art for Growth Spiral, but my God, Seb McKinnon is a fucking fantastic artist. That brings in a Clarion. Annoying, but again, not the end of the world. Oh, that's really cool. I honestly need a land. I can't afford to not get one. Ah, nice touch. Thanks, game. Fuck, what else do we get rid of? Honestly, probably an Apparition. I'm really not over the goddamn moon about this, to be entirely frank, so there's that. Thank God I just took a turn off to ramp. Maybe we won't get punished as much. I sincerely doubt it, but goddamn it, if a man can't hope and pray. What's his gate count? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Which is real cool. Land, please. Okay, not a land, but I can deal with that. I can panic button away whatever thing is being big. Hey, big old pain in the butt. Would suck if we don't draw land, but even if we do, yeah, I say even if it happens, I'm not like gonna cry myself to sleep or anything. We have the panic button. Hopefully, we just don't continue to just like get blown out. Again, another turn off for ramping is like a turn where maybe we can bring this back, even though by all accounts we should be dead. I'm not blind to this fact. Mace's End is not a gate card itself though, so you can't get that. It is just a utility land. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and a big old gate colossus. So we need to hit like a land and a meat for our Meteor Golem soon. Not gonna lie, that would be lovely. Maybe we can actually gain 8 with a Chandra here. Basically, do need to hit the land. Almost no matter what we do. Since our opponent has a high enough life total, they can practically, or with relative safety, just let the mill and burn them plan kind of hit. Yep, that's kind of what I was hoping. Does gain me 8 life, so there's that. Ah, the heat's on. I do, again, apologize for the background noise. But I live in America, and it's winter in December. I don't want to freeze. Alright, gotta draw some cards, I imagine. 1, 2, 3. That's lovely. I really need a land here, game. You could do me a solid. Why did you shock that in? Oh, I think that actually doesn't... Unless we draw another ramp spell, I think we just actually lose. Thanks, game. Real cool. Now we have to just hope they give us the cards, but they won't. Or should they? Yep. So now we're just jumping to try not to die. Real cool. God, I want this deck to be good, man. It's got some great flavor to it, but god damn it, it is not good. And now we're to the point where we need like exactly another wrath, but even then the Gate Colossus will just work his way back into the hand, which is like really, really frustrating. You could also probably hide your Incrasis for like $1 billion and be very, very well off. It'd basically be like insurmountably ahead. Oh, this is explosion me. God damn it. Oh, well. Proof that our deck is a cool concept and very fun to pilot, but god damn it, it's not good and I want it to be. Anywho, thank you all for watching. Have a great day. Remember to like the video if you liked it, sub if you like me, and if you have any constructive criticism, hey, that's what comments are for. Have a great day, stay safe, and I'll see you in the next video.